Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Edwin Sifuna and Geoffrey Osotse were the only Luhya senators that were in the Senate. They watched helplessly by reading the letter from Aaron Cheriot to remove Senator Khalwale as the majority chief whip. And I need to explain to you, I'll demonstrate to you in this podcast. This is William Ruto's long stick to dump Wetangula. Watch this podcast to the end. And I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for supporting our podcasts. And again, I want to say thank you. We are finalizing our project. This was the November project. We are finalizing it. Today, we are in Kilifi and we're building a house for Mama Zawadi. And this is her appreciation message.
Nashukuru maana uri nalala nyumba ambayo nalala nyumba ambayo inanyeshewa, watoto wangu wananyeshewa. Sasa ndo nikawahi kupata hii shirika hili nikaweza kunijengea hii nyumba, na sasa hii ni kwenda kesho ama kesho kutwa nikaingia kwa nyumba. Kwa hivyo naomba muendelee na huo msaada ambao mko nao, mkaweze kusaidia hata wengine. Kwa hivyo nasikia kushukuru kwa sababu Mungu ametenda ambayo makubwa zaidi na zaidi. Kwa hivyo nasikia furaha kubwa ambayo sina cha kuwapa, zangu ni shukrani pekee. Ni hayo, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much for supporting this. You can still reach out. For your place imebaki is just the plaster and the windows, which will be done. Alafu aingie kwa nyumba. And thank you very much for responding. This was our November project. So every month we support one person. So tulimsaidia kwa wale ambao walikuwa wamefollow. Senator Sotse, okay, Amason Kingi read this letter from Aaron Cheriot, where UDA party decided to eject Boni Khalwale as the majority chief whip.
Africans as a Pan-African society. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I've got a further communication to make, and this relates to the changes in the Senate Majority Party leadership. Now, Honorable Senators, via the letter reference number SEN/035/SBC/012/2025, dated 2nd December 2025, I received correspondence from the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Aaron Cheriot, EGH MP, regarding changes in the Majority Party leadership affecting the office of the Senate Majority Whip. As you're aware, Standing Order 22.5 provides as follows. A senator elected under paragraph 1 may be removed by a majority of votes of all the senators belonging to the majority party. Further, Standing Order 22.7 states as follows, that upon a decision being made by the majority party or coalition under this standing order, the decision of the party or coalition shall be communicated to the Speaker in writing, together with the minutes of the meeting at which the decision was made. A, in the case of the removal of the Senate Majority Leader or the Deputy Senate Majority Leader by the Senate Majority Whip, and B, in the case of removal of the Senate Majority Whip or the Deputy Senate Majority Whip by the Senate Majority Leader. Now, Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 22.7, the said letter from the Senate Majority Leader was accompanied by the following documents. 1. Minutes of the Majority Party meeting dated the 2nd of December 2025, which is a record of the proceedings of the minute together with resolutions, and 2, duly signed list of senators who attended the above indicated meeting. Now, from the correspondence, the minutes indicate that a resolution was passed to remove the Senate Majority Whip, Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale, CBS MP, in accordance with Standing Order 22.5. The minutes further indicate the majority party elected Senator David Wafula Waholi MP to serve as the Senate Majority Whip in his place. Now, Honorable Senators, Standing Order 22.8 provide as follows. The Speaker, upon receipt of the decision under paragraph 7, shall verify the correspondence received and deliver communication to the Senate within 3 sitting days. In this respect, I have verified the correspondence received and hereby communicate that the majority party has effected a change in the office of the Senate Majority Whip. The new office holder, therefore, with immediate effect is Senator David Wafula Wakoli, MP. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
There was a red flag to this because prior to this move, his security details alongside Natembeya were actually withdrawn a day to the by-election. And Ruto allies sometimes you can't trust politicians, and no politician is clean. It is very ironical that Ruto allies underwent the same fate in the second term of Uhuru Kenyatta after they rebelled against the government, and they were really crying all over here about a betrayal. And because of a political fallout, they decided they were taken from their position. William Ruto ejecting Boni Khalwale in the chief whip as the government chief whip is clearly the start of Moses Masika Wetangula's journey to end his tenure as the speaker. And this is why. Khalwale was stripped in this position, and I want you to pay attention to William Ruto and the team strategically. They decided to give this position to the Bungoma senator, Wafula Bokoli. The Bungoma senator, that is the first red flag on this. The Bungoma senator is a friend of Wetangula. Number one. That Bungoma senator was elected after Wetangula was picked. Remember, Wetangula alivae last election as a senator, alafu ndio akakuwa elected as the speaker, then kukona by election Bungoma, and then Wakoli was elected in that by election. Now, that senator is also a Ford Kenya senator. The position slipped from UDA. The masses will be manipulated to understand. And I want to tell you how Ruto has tricked all this. He knows very well that then Khalwale is going to have a betrayal card on the president. So he calls Wetangula and tells Wetangula it is your senator who is going to replace Khalwale. Ford Kenya refused to join UDA. And if you ask me, it is not that Wetangula is strong and Wetangula is Qatar. It was it was something strategic. To leave it in the periphery, uko nje, it will be weak, and as it faces opposition from the other parties there, and we just realize it is just by design, they actually lost a by-election in Wetangula's ward. After losing by-election in your own ward, as a politician, it was upon Wetangula to understand that something is amiss. Yes, I want us to, someone might ask, Kevin, who else let's try to assume that in the power sharing deal within UDA, this seat was to be reserved for Western, probably Chief Whip. If you go to Busia, the senator is Tata, who is pro-opposition, so he's not a pro-government. So let's let's tick him out. Then the next one is Vihiga. I understand that the president also had an opportunity to pick Osotsi, but Osotsi is not broad-based. So he was not approachable and will not execute this mandate. So this leaves Bungoma and Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia, there is Alan Chesang. But I can tell you why Alan Chesang was not picked. Because Alan Chesang is from William Ruto's Kalenjin sub-tribe. So probably he will take it throughout. But then there was another option of taking it from probably Western and giving it somewhere else, because it's also probably given on competence. But he decided to give it to Wetangula. And that is going to set up something big. I have reliably spoken with some few reporters on what happened. And even away from the custom here is senators can always, the president can always call some PG, even it's a mini PG, they discuss and they seek concurrence amongst the senators or within the leadership of the House. Let me tell you, the only person who had an idea that Wetangula, that Khalwale was going to be shown the door was none other than Cherargei. And he was roaming with it in the streets of Parliament that Khalwale must be punished. Boni will clearly smear a betrayal card on Wetangula. And this is what I mean. It is not Wetangula that has ejected Boni Khalwale. It is not. It is UDA that has done it. But they've strategically put Wetangula at a very bad place. He's been ceding ground. Ford Kenya has been ceding ground to the rival parties. And today, even Wambilianga, the women rep from Bungoma, was heckled. His own brother, Tim Wanyonyi, is already cautioning Ford Kenya about their waning popularity in Bungoma.
Ni venye hizi vitu zimefremiwa jana zikiongelewa, leo video imetokea. Inajaribu kunipaint kama mtu mwenye anaparticipate kwa robbery. Ndio wa justify kwanza majambazi ambao wamekuwa kinitafuta wakinishoot. Wasema wameshoot robber. They are trying to paint me like this because they have planned to kill me. And the pain they have is because hawakutarajia wapoteze hii kiti ya Chwele Kabuchai. It's very painful. If that can be planned and be schemed by people who think that they own this world, hata wakinua mimi leo, wao pia watakuja kukufa. We don't live forever. Our cause to liberate the people of Kabuchai, kama hatukuogopa mpini na panga wakati wa campaign, hatutaogopa DCI. And I want to ask the DCI, especially
the people who have believed that they can get power by force. Sindio? In Kabuchai here, when they tried that, it didn't work. Sindio? Walikuwa naambia watu mtatembea butima sijui mkhengu ile ngakwitiki na khanisina. but it never worked, it failed. Sindio? The people whom they were selling hiyo uoka walikataa na wakapika kura the way they did. Sindio? So nobody can force you to do what you don't want to do unless you want to do it yourself. Sindio? Na mwenye bari? No, we are not. Just do the right thing.
I understand clearly that within the political ethics, you cannot be a chief whip and then you campaign for the opposition candidate. Because the reason why Boni is being ejected, probably, number one, is the fact that what is known, let's work with what is known. What is not known, we cannot analyze. What is known here is, it was in the interest of William Ruto that he campaigns for UDA candidate Ndakwa in Malava. But I think it is all about the politics. I agree on the political ethos. Someone needs to stick to that line. But again, politics is dynamics. They are dynamics. And instead of taking the stick, already they have won Malava. There is no by-election coming next. They would have approached a dialogue approach as a government to reach out and probably understand then, so why are you not aligning with the UDA party that brought you to the Senate? That would have been an appropriate question at that time. But we decided to leave. You know, there is the spirit of the Constitution and there is the letter of the Constitution. So, William Ruto picked the letter of the Constitution and executed something that looks simple. It looks like I can get away with it, but the culprit is Wetangula. I understand Sifuna has also been a strong critic of broad-based. But ODM has come under immense pressure or tension to remove Sifuna, but they have not heeded to those calls. And after Boni Khalwale, who has been one of the vocal, away from, I know one thing, away from the by-election, the government is not comfortable that even in the Senate, Wetangula has been calling out ministers, has been calling out government, not Khalwale, has been calling out government about things that are not working. And because he's a chief whip, he do have more airtime and some more privileges. As a chief whip, it is not just a position. It comes with some staff there, some security guards here, and some cars there, and program this and that. It comes with some privileges. So government have just realized, oh, these privileges, you won't have them. The next candidate that is being targeted is Sifuna, because the Sifuna is the minority whip, deputy minority whip in the Senate. So if the whipping in the Senate is going to start with Khalwale, Sifuna is amongst the critics of the broad-based administration. And I want to explain in details. This is my full reasons why I understand that William Ruto's game plan is going to destroy Wetangula. It is not today, but clearly he is a target, a candidate for exit. Who campaigned in Malava? The president deployed his PA, Farouk Kibet, to Malava to campaign, and in fact, he still remains in Western. In fact, I think Farouk was just dispatched in Western to go and spend time in Western. And his objective is to dismantle the traditional centers of influence and try to get to the people. He's talking the voice of the president. And you know, people believe that when Farouk is talking, William Ruto is talking there. So, with that, he's already realized that that will be his alternative route to the Mulembe vote. And because of that, Wetangula is likely going to face a backlash. You know, politicians will get what is convenient. It will be politically convenient for Wetangula to go to Kakamega and tell Kakamega shosho there that unaona huyo Wetangula, unaona nikitolewa Senate kwa ile kiti nilikuwa, yeye ndio mkubwa wa parliament. Hakujitetea. And they will start picking for so and so pia hakutetewa. Now, amongst the MPs, there is a caucus, a Mulembe caucus, inaleta senators and MPs together. It is led by Waluhe. They are quiet. So Wetangula is likely to face that backlash of failing to protect these leaders. And a more lethal one, we are making a projection here and you will see. You know what they say? Alinyang'anya watu wa Kakamega hiyo kiti, akapeleka kwao. Number 3. Khalwale now finds a good reason to team up with Natembeya, and this will hit Wetangula hard. Because remember, they've already had troubles in the by-election. And a strong anti-Mulembe wave, if a strong anti-Ruto wave emerges in Mulembe, if it brings together Wetangula, Natembeya and all that, I heard the same Khalwale saying, kama Ruto ataka kura za Waluya, itabidi akuja tutafute. Atutapitia kina Musalia na Wetangula. Now what is going to happen? The president is clearly ejecting. Kuna ndani rais ajui kwamba akitoa Khalwale atatima hapo na Natembeya? Anajua. But why is he doing that? He wants to create that team. And probably after creating that team, ikisha kuwa strong, atawatafuta. Basi sasa kujeni hapa. Sasa tuongenyi mnataka aje. At that point, Wetangula is not in that table. That is why some of us are also thinking that is Rigathi Gachagua really working for the state or working for the united opposition? Because his actions doesn't seem to pursue and project any unity card, even within that united opposition. I saw them trying to show some unity by going to that church, that memorial service together and sitting next to each other. I looked at the body language and there seems to be a very big fallout. Ladies and gentlemen, I strongly feel that Wetangula amejikaranga. This was not something he would have pursued. And in his proximity to power, he would have at least tried, after making sure that Huo Bokoli anakataa kuchukua your position, and to throw Ruto back to spanner. And with that time, you also go for some mediation, so that how are you going to bring Mulembe together if you allow Senator Khalwale to be ejected from that position? They will come for you. Thank you.